This is a blog for Wednesday the 21st of January, solo choreography. Okay, so today was the first lesson that we would start work on our solo choreographies, creating material and choosing stimuluses. Well, deciding what our stimuluses were. So we started off with talking about everyone's stimuluses and why they wanted to do it and what were the reasons behind it. And listening to everyone's ideas were really good and they'd really thought about it. Some people lacked research, whereas I had two stimuluses that I didn't know which to decide between. And the two stimuluses I had were the living room exhibition, which is an art installation piece that you can go in and sit in it and interact within it. And it was just, it had 3 couches and a TV monitor with fire flames playing on it, and whispers in the background. When I looked further into it, the whispers were actually a person reading from a book, quotes and such. The artist didn't really have a reason behind it as to why they'd made it, so I didn't see really much of backstory behind that. And the second piece was by Stuart Brisley, and it was various pictures of a man, and he locked himself in a room for 17 days without the luxuries of life, so he had no means of communication to other people in the outside world. He had food and water, obviously, and a bed to sleep in, but he locked himself in a room, and he had a window about that big that enabled the public to watch him through. And the reason why he did it was because he said that our installation pieces or performance art had become about vanity, and he wanted to make his different and revolt against it. So he did this, and by the end of it, he thought that the cameras that were filming him and taking pictures were guns. So he became quite paranoid and he was trapped. So I ended up choosing this idea because I think it's a much stronger concept. So when I was experimenting, I didn't quite know what to do at the beginning. So I was stuck, and for about 10-15 minutes I was just walking around the dance studio thinking, what the bloody hell am I going to do? Because I was completely stuck. I managed to come up with some material which I'll post underneath. And what I wanted to go with was the idea of being anxious and trapped. Excuse me. And I wanted to make my piece really edgy. So like my movements would be static, so it'd be like all jolts and stuff. And I don't know, I did like what I came up with, because I wanted to show like Stuart Brisley being free and doing all extravagant big movements, and then his time in the space. So this is where I'd put all the edgy movements in and like really confine my movements. Obviously it's only the first lesson that we've done it, so there's still a long way to go, but I'm feeling quite positive about it. And the feedback I got given was that people can see moments of repetition in the piece. I need to pause on certain bits because there's really nice bits that would be really good still images. Stephen said I'm acting through it instead of being real to it, so I need to act less and find a means of connecting to it. I don't know how exactly I'm going to do that, to be honest, because I'm not going to lock myself in a room for 17 days. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do about that. But all in all, I think it was quite a strong start, and I'm quite excited to get to the next lesson and continue working on it. My strengths of the session were I was able to come up with a good, strong concept and finalise my stimulus idea. My weakness was watching back my technique. There was not much technique in the video, and my area to improve is to, now that I've got material, slow down and pick bits apart and put technique in there so that it shows that I can perform technique as well as performing. That concludes this blog.